At that point, you give up, life kicks in, and I can see how you wouldn't be perceiving these opportunities. I don't think it's shyness at that point, it's almost pragmatism. Like, the whole world that is definitely telling you to, pipe dream this and all that bullshit that people say to us, right?
Grow
Like,
up and get a job, right? Like you're a man now. Grow up and get a job. So that's
big facts.
yeah,
I
that's what it
mean,
was.
so then you get the job, you start doing your thing, and you go to video editing school, which is truly fascinating. And you said, if I'm not mistaken, you weren't necessarily interested in that when you were younger. So what made you more fascinated or decide to take this like pivot and route in that direction?
Um, I don't know. I started filming these like random videos for with my buddies and stuff, these little comedy skits, and then I when I hated doing the filming of it. But I would film it anyways. But it was the fact like getting the footage afterwards and taking all these raw shots, kind of like with music, taking these rhymes and putting them together to make a story. So that's what I
Mm.
fell in love with the editing, which I think played a huge part of my love for music. Was I took all these just random shots, like even my buddy skateboarding, doing skateboarding videos, and piecing them together in the editing program for a beginning, middle, and end, like a kind of a lengthy story. So that's what made me really fall in love with it. And it's just that whole process, like I said, compared to the music, it's kind of pretty similar, really.
Okay. I mean, I'm not into production or like a lot of that, so I don't empathize fully with it. But I also kind of do the more I learn about it. So like my whole relationship with video editing is it's like it was forced upon me, and after literally years of doing it, in ways I didn't like, I finally gotten into the idea that it's kind of fun. As long as I don't actually have to, I would executive produce in my dream. I would sit behind people and look at what they do and backseat drive my way to success. That sounds like the dream. But Brad, Rapper, and Habits World
RAP.
LVM are all up in here too.
Habit and RAP. Shout out to you guys, man. Thanks for coming on.
So I just figured we should give them the love that they came through. And again,
And I'm
thank you.
drinking on Budweiser. That's all Habit. What are you drinking on? Budweiser.
That's fresh. I never got that into beer, but I respect it. It's very Canadian of you, Mr. Canada.
I've always been a beer guy, and so not really much into the hard liquors or anything else. Really, like I don't even really smoke much anymore. So it's just have my few beers at night, calm down, watch a hockey game. As Canadian as you can get, man. Really.
I love it. And you're so sincere about it too. So, tell us more about the video editing journey. What's it like to go to video editing school? What do you like learn about there? Is it worth going to video editing
Well,
school, or should you go on that YouTube shit?
the funny thing was when I went to and signed up for the course, I signed up for the one in Ottawa and I got turned down. So they didn't accept me at the Ottawa one. So back in North Bay where this all started, they accepted me. And when I got into it, it was TV broadcasting and editing that I got into. But a lot that we were learning was behind the camera, filming. So I actually almost dropped out because we weren't learning about editing, which is what I wanted to go for. And then what kept me in was we had an editing class and a studio class, and my love for hockey, we got to film hockey games. So that was really kept me into it. I almost was very close to dropping out. And then the editing aspect, like I said, just we would shoot anything from commercials to infomercials to like I can't think of the word, like man, I can't think of it.
It's all
Like
good.
like don't do drugs kind of thing. Like
PSAs.
yeah, PSAs, public service announcements. Yeah, and then doing our own stuff on the side. Like I always loved filming the skateboarding and editing that together, and so yeah, it just went from there. It's funny because I was very close to dropping out, and then what kept me in was like, yeah, but you get to film the hockey game. So I was like, all right, well maybe I'll stick around for this for a little bit. And then I built my love more, and I got to learn of it. And I wanted to do music videos was a big part too. So I wanted to learn how to edit because I wanted to learn how to shoot music videos. So I stuck with it
Mm.
on that till the end. I graduated, and then yeah, that was a 2-year course. So met the love of my life in that school, and it was one of the best times of my life for sure.
So would you say it's like worth doing it, or like do you think there's value? Because it costs money to do this shit, if I'm not mistaken. So like,
Oh yeah,
is there like a real ROI in like going to a school versus like skill sharing and trial by erroring your way with it in like 2021? Like which would you say, having done that route, which do you think is the better route at this point for people?
Money wise, if you want to save money, you can pretty much do a lot that I learned from trial and error, to be honest with you. Maybe not the studio stuff like live and stuff like that, filming live and having a switcher board and editing live on the fly. That stuff you have to be in the environment to really learn it. But a lot of it you can just learn, like especially with editing programs, you can find it a tutorial on anything, man, that I learned from a teacher. I could have learned from a guy telling me on YouTube. In fact, they would put YouTube clips of tutorials in the class. I do it, I swear to God. So you either, if you want the college experience and the fun time of it, but it costs money, go do it. It's a lot of fun. I would do it again 100% because just the whole experience of it was a blast. But if you're not into that and you want to save money, just learn on YouTube like I did through school.
Mm. I would say Skillshare is probably a little better. Happy medium. It's $10 a month USD or whatever. Everyone can afford that. But no,
Yeah.
that's I like your honesty. I like your honesty because the experience thing is important. I didn't necessarily like. That's the one thing I kind of wish I had more of. Was more of a college experience like you see on TV type shit. But that's the best you get if
Yeah.
you don't have it. Is what you see on TV type shit. Um,
That was a big reason I went to it because I like hit a spot where I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna just randomly dive into this and get the experience I want to get and have a fun 2 years doing it. So that was more of the incentive than learning the editing. Was I wanted, like you said, the college experience, and I'm happy I got it, to be honest.
yeah, you met the love of your life. Best investment you ever fucking made.
Absolutely, man. I would have paid double, triple, and even more.